everybody. Today I woke up and just a little angry, and sometimes when you get angry, you gotta move and you gotta do something. And this anger that I have is not from any internal suffering that I have myself. It's because I see people like Nature Boy, people who is not speaking the truth and who's really taking from others. He's really out there like a piranha, just looking for any meat that you can bite up and spit and teach as if it's yours. When I hear people like him, like Nature Boy, who gets up and just, it's almost like when you listen to him, you're being sucked into a bunch of lies. You're being sucked into the sorcery of words. And the thing that when you go to a school, you should walk away with something. There should be something that should happen to you. And most people who are listening to this man, it's still they're being led astray. Now, when I talk about the truth and the way and trying to get their way onto the path, this is what most people are trying to do. This is a whole work of what spirituality and religion is about. Is trying to figure out the way to get onto the mystical path, to get onto the yellow brick road, to go to the magic castle. All right. If you were to really look at it in today's context, and what the truth is that when you get on the mystical path, it means that you've entered the mystery schools. And I don't think this is spoken about enough. I mean, there's people on the internet who advertise that there's the mystery school that you can go to where you can learn mystery keys, but the mystical path is a path where there's many strangers. And when these strangers and when these people come into your life, somehow your life changes. But sometimes when these people come into your life, it is just like it was prophesied. These people who come into your life, they have an ability to open up the door, right? And you've seen many movies about the door opening. You've seen Harry Potter about the door, or I think there was another movie where there was a door in the basement. I can't even remember the name, but everyone is trying to find the door, right? And so the door comes as the caravan, as the man coming to give you new water. But the thing is that you think that your ass is going to go to paradise. You're supposed to go somewhere to Mexico, somewhere far. No, what happens is that when the stranger comes, when the mystical traveler comes, they ignite the dream world. They ignite a world that when you're learning, you're no longer just going to sleep and you're being dead and you're not going anywhere and you're staying in the body like a dead person. But what happens is you're brought into the world of heaven. You're brought into the dream world. You're brought into the school that when you do go to sleep, right, and then you go to school, right, you wake up and your wake up, your daily wake is your homework, right? So some of us who really talk about the higher self and the lower self, and there's some people who've graduated from the mystery schools, and those are going to be some of the people that you see as the new leaders and some of the new people that's coming forth, because that's what this whole age is about. It was about people who graduated, certain people who wanted to be head of the school, right? The person who wants to be head of the school is what you're talking about, Christ. He's the person who's what you consider the wizard, all right? But of course, when we watch these movies, we don't understand that most of these people who were natural wizards, they wasn't white people first. They were naturally, black shamans and, people of color. But I think we forget that and we get caught up into, what life has depicted things to be. But we're missing the idea of learning, what religion and what spirituality is about. It's got to be where we all start to try to realize the truth and to try to decode it. I was talking about the all-seeing eye the other day, and I was trying to talk about the many benefits and uses, but the one idea, and I'll bring it back, is I was talking about the Rubik's Cube, and that there's a master key, that once you understand the master key, you can solve the cube to the puzzle. All right. And so you got to realize that if we're all selves and we're all different versions of Creator experiencing itself, then one self has to be the master key to help all cells that are part of the Creator realign itself back to source, back to square one. So whoever has the master key is probably the master cell of the creator. And that's what people have to realize, that once you have this master key, not only are you're able to solve the square root of yourself, you're able to cube all sides and get all sides square. You can do this anywhere you go. All right. And so the idea that once we truly learn to get the crown chakra open, all right, and we harmonize it and we fully integrate it by turning on the 7 chakras that's in the crown chakra. Right, that means you're anointed. That means you're anointed with the holy teachings of the Most High. That means when the Most High comes down, he comes down with the master key. The master key to help you have inner harmony within yourself and also harmony with others. What's going on? Yeah, and so when we look at that master key, all right, that master key, which you call the all-seeing eye, it means that you have become the walking rainbow. All right, so as that. Once you get that learning, now you have to go about perfecting it. Now you have to go about reaping your rewards, or what I call reaping life. That means that once you have the master key, you can go around squaring everybody up, getting all sides square, going everywhere you're going to touch them and to change them and to harmonize them, to realign all chakras. So now that they understand how the crown chakra is working and how the crown chakra needs to be aligned, so you can get full empowerment and full electricity from the sun. So I want people to realize that, of course, you can listen to astrology, and astrology will give you a good blueprint to who you are. But the idea is that we don't want to be the hands of time. We want to be the point in the middle that spins and tells time. All right. So sometimes, and that's all time is for. Astrology is for, like, if you're looking at the clock and you want to see something, you can check the time, but you don't always have to be your astrology. You're always shifting. We're always shifting to a point of zero pointedness, which has nothing to do with astrology. It's pure chaos. So when I hear people saying your astrology, you're your ego, that's bullshit. That's just only programs that once we master ourselves, we become the full self. We become the chaotic self that's become intellectualized. We become the full melanation, that when the melanation gets electrified, now that chaos is intelligent and it's programmed with intention. So it's a full journey that once you understand the mystical path that you go on leads to discoveries of all your powers. It leads to all of that. It leads that once that you have full illumination of the mind, what happens is everything starts to realign itself. Some people say you can start at the root chakra, and you can do that. But just imagine that if you can square your cube, your mind, if you can square that consciousness, then guess what? All you have to do is when you do learn to sit in peace, it's easy to get a pure charge from the ground and the sun. So most of us, we're not getting that full charge in our crown chakra, because the crown chakra is not fully turned on until you have the 7 other chakras that's turned on in the crown, in the head itself. Not the 7 chakras of the body, but the 7 chakras in the head. All right. And so the only way you really learn to turn those chakras on is that you have to have those holy keys. All right. And the holy key is really learning to perfect the psychology of the all-seeing eye, meaning that as you walk it, as you talk it, as you look it, as you speak it, as you do all these things, your mind is now processing like an eagle, like a hawk. Right. And so just like you can sit down in meditation and be in the Buddha state, you can also be in a state of action, which is the Buddha state. Or what we call the gamma state, right? And if you look up gamma, it's just highly attentiveness of action. So that means that when you see action comes down, for some reason it slows down for you, and you're able to perform at the other level, the opposite of darkness, which is pure light, which is pure knowing, which is pure impulse, seeing the light as it sparks, not seeing the fire, but seeing the spark, then seeing the fire. And so that's the idea of the all-seeing eyes, is that when you learn to see the very nature of impulse of human nature, then you're able to learn to dissect the human nature itself as it moves, as you see the automation, as you see the avatar work and operate in the body. You can also see when entities are in the body. You can see when people are not themselves and when they're switching to different egotistical natures that they've now watched and now expressing. So when you get into this world is deeper than what you think it. It's more than what meets the eye. They've been telling us some G.I. Joe for so long, and we're still confused. We got to get out of the state of confusion. We got to start watching these phonies too. All right, because I'm telling you about the all-seeing eye and how to get on the all-seeing eye, but it is the main key to giving your left brain the main type of spark. It's just like a lighter. All right, and I would like to call the fumes, the oil. The oil is like that dark matter. All right, and you that friction, that traction, that once you gain the right amount of traction, it creates a spark, catch onto the fumes. Guess what? We got a flame. So that's the same idea with melanin. Each one of us has fume in us, and the idea is that we don't want to let that passion, that excitement, all right, die. We want that, all right. But what we got to find is we got to find the fume. You got to find the right environment. That's the fumes. The right environment. You ever go to a place and the fireman say, "Hey man, don't light a match, or don't light your lighter." It's just like you can't do that in the gas station, right? You can blow something up. So the idea is with us is that we want to find that right gas station, all right, of purpose. So when we do spark, it's a blow up. It's a big bang of ideas, of creativity. And that's what I think we don't spend enough time doing, is finding the right environments so we can have that big bang individually of creativity and new ideas, and coming back somewhere with some new information, just like how it was in the old days. The old days, they would go to Egypt and certain places and get certain knowledge and understanding and come and bring it back. All right. These days, the idea is that when you get money and you get fame, you get things and you leave the hood, you never come back. All right. But in the old days, they always brought things back. All right. It was always, hey, we got this. Okay. I brought something else back. Guess what? I got a tiger from China. Yeah, I got a tiger. Everybody, I know you ain't never seen this exotic beast, but this is a tiger. All right. So I'm like, that was the idea of the traveler, is that when he became the mystical, and he understood the world of walking in this world and walking in the world of nothingness. It was that he understood nothingness to understood the very impulse of nature itself, by being a keen observer of life and saying that people who were dead, you can see the walk of deadness. You can see the lackingness of life within them. You can see that the actor, the avatar, the spirit that used to emote the body is about to stop emoting. And you can start to see drain on the body. You can start to see stress, and person is no longer shining the way they used to. They no longer express the same idea. They no longer come up with the same creativeness and solutions that they used to. You can start to see the life of that person go. But when life comes, ideas, creativity, sometimes even courage, all those right things that we lack, sometimes we see that other person, for some reason, that day when we saw him, we were inspired to do, So, I just want to kind of talk about that. The path is about transfiguring your spirit. It's about taking yourself up from being someone who's scared and fearful to becoming the hero who saves the world. And most people don't believe about saving the world, but your reality is always in play. Your reality, they were showing us in Back to the Future. And guess what Marty McFly was trying to do? He had a damn picture, all right? And he realized that he had to go back in time and to help his father become a man, all right, so he can keep somehow, I don't know, whatever, something happened in the past, but he had to help his father somehow be a man to keep his woman, because if he didn't do that, then his future would have been changed. They've been telling us about this, all right? So the idea is that when we learn to slow down life, we can realize that our past and our present is happening right now. All right. As soon as I take a step forward, that last step was the past. All right. Time is happening. You can't rewind it back. So it's like, that's the idea, is that when we control the hands of time. All right. Now it's starting to make more sense. When we control the hands of time, what are they saying? They're saying that when you understand the very impulse of nature, you see the many directions this shit could go. Oh, I see the very nature of him. If I strike a match, I think I may set him off. Let me get the fuck out of here. That's how that's how it is. It happens the same way for when we see someone negative and knowing that something set it off. And it happens on the positive side, that when we're looking for something to really help us get going, we got to find the right environment and the right place so it can happen. So when we see people in the hoods, in the ghetto, and we see these people, we wonder why life is so bad. Understand this, they ain't changed. The environment ain't changed, it's got worse. You know, we're trying to ignite creativity, but guess what? The environment is not built for creativity. So you got a lot of people in the desert looking for water, trying to grow something where there's nothing but sand. Everything's sinking. Every time you step on it, somehow it seems like the ground keep falling down. You know, that's what most people are feeling. You know, but we have to learn to really come together and make the right decisions for the right people. So once we know that we got the right leaders, and all this is going to happen, you know, I'm talking, you know, a little bit ahead of time, but this is going to happen where the leaders and people will be out of place and new people will be coming in, you know, but we got to do our work. You know, we got to do our work of empowerment, because it doesn't matter if someone comes and says, I'm here to take the throne. You know, I'm Christ. I'm hoping that you guys have the memory, or if I've come to you in a dream world to tell you, hey, I'm here. Right? Even then, people would not be smart enough to realize that you still got to build your spirit up to be able to even have the same kind of strength that you're hoping you're created to do. Because ain't nobody just going to throw themselves out there if there's no troops ready to go. If you got a king here and he's ready to lead you, but the troops ain't ready to go, then the king got to say, man, I don't know how the hell do I get out here and empower these people to see me without getting myself killed? How do I go under the radar and knock on some doors, come in some dream worlds and tell them I'm here and hope that they'll come seek me and look for me without getting myself killed? Because the real Christ knows that if you put yourself out there like that, you know, there's guns and people coming your way. You know, that's what's really going on. So when I hear people talk about, hey, I'm this, and I'm like, yeah, you don't know. Because what's really at stake is the shift of the ages, the shift of all time, the comeback of the whole century, where something that was dead and wiped out in all of our imagination, and people changed the image of God, changed everything. And so now people, they're looking for him to come back, but he's right in front of their face, speaking the truth, saying, come learn from me. All right, if you're one of my students, I promise me you're going to walk away way better than before. All of my students don't just talk intelligently. They do a specific thing. All right, a specific thing that when they see in the living, it also helps them do some stuff spiritually in the other worlds, where they can kind of see in spirit too. You know, so that's what my students can do. I'm making mutants. I'm not here making just talking stuff. I'm here igniting that melanin. Right? Igniting that melanin, taking you to that extraterrestrial world where now the way you are thinking and the way you are operating is not the same way as these people in the living. Because the thing is that you got to talk to the alien to go ahead and get that alien consciousness, the extraterrestrial consciousness, you know, that galactic consciousness. They showed us with who was it? That damn movie with the dude with the damn hat, Alice in Wonderland, and the dude be coming around and they was waiting for him to dance, and he's talking about how galactic and how the out of the world we are, and how they was waiting for him to do the dance. Johnny Depp played him. Y'all know who I'm talking about, but it was Alice in Wonderland, and Johnny Depp played the little character with the top hat, and they was all waiting for him to dance so he can show them how galactic and how smooth and how flexible and how, you know, how groovy he was and crazy at the same time. You know, that's what you're looking for, that, and you're looking for a little sense of divinity all in one. All right, here helping to try to ignite you to become something even greater, something chaotic but something real, something that you can be, that's totally originally you. Everybody has their own original chaos as well as their own original intelligence. But you got to find that. You got to go out on the rail and find pieces. It's just like you can't take everything from the hood. You got to take the toughest stuff that you can walk around and feel good about, and then you go to other areas and you take little pieces. It's just like when you're building a robot, you don't buy all the shit from this. You may buy a piece from over here, a piece from over there, and a piece from over there, and guess what? You got a whole authentic suit on that no one else could have ever created. A little bit of something from here, and take this idea is that, you know, you want to be able to take something from everything and be nothing and everything all at once. And that's what it means. It means I'm not really the something where I'm from, and I'm not really the everything from which I've been. I'm a little bit of everything. I've been sprinkled with a little bit of everything. I'm all the chaos, and I'm all of the people. I'm all the people in one. All right, that's what we're doing. That's what you have to do. That's your work. How do you become everything in one? How do you experience everything and yet be nothing? All right, that's what you're creating. But the intelligence parts, there's real keys to traveling, and the all-seeing eye was one of the greatest keys, because guess what? It allowed you to understand everybody you cross, and it enabled you to understand when you were in the presence of danger, and you knew when something bad could have happened to you or to someone else. So you became a watcher. You came and you saw everything that came in, and you understood the very nature of man to be able to stop things and prevent it before it even happens. That's divine intervention. So some people, that's how angels work. We watch the shows, but angels are people. They're all around us. There's divine angels, there's lower ranked angels. They come as people, and there's some people there's some angels that are not physical, right? But the work that's being done is that these people are always on duty, and you never know when they're around, because guess what? They're watching you. They're watching you, and they're just waiting to help. They're not trying to lead you somewhere. They're waiting for you to either find them or for the right situation for them to help you. That's what this is about. It's not trying to convince you to listen to me. It's to convince you that, hey, I got a key and a piece for your life. If you come take this piece, hey, it's a good upgrade to who you are. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave with that. I just want to talk today because I had a little irritation when you hear people not speaking the real truth. And it's like, hey, man, people, look up, man. I'm telling you, you're trying to you want better connectedness. Well, you got to learn how to become it. Because, right, what the fuck? That's crazy. I saw 3 cats being chased by 1 little dog. That's interesting. But that's what we want. We if you want that change, you gotta move the clutter. You gotta move the people who are just using wizardry and sorcery to keep you listening to them. You want someone who can give you a physical tool that you can use that will empower and enlighten your life. All right, peace out, y'all.